Hey, what's up, family? Welcome to Ask the Ma'ats. My name is Ayize Ma'at. This right here is... Say hi.
Hi.
This is my Pookie Pie.
I can't
my
believe...
baby, my love, Viana Ma'at. And this is Baby Allende. Say hi.
Say hi.
You've been like making feature cameos in all the videos lately. Hey, but check this out, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and take a seat right here so I can get everybody in the picture. All right. Hey.
Hi.
Hi. So we doing this video right here, y'all, and yeah, mommy's behind you.
Right here.
We're doing this video, and the reason I want to do this right now, hold on, baby, hold on.
Mommy?
Yeah, you see mommy.
Off the bottom of your face.
Oh yeah, you see mommy. Okay, shh, be quiet. So the reason why I wanted to do this video right here is because we're sitting here and we're watching Elmo. Now the title of this video right here is it's easy to run away from the struggle. But we're sitting here and we're watching Elmo. And watching Elmo, the reason why this video is titled It's Easy to Run Away from the Struggle is because probably about a year or so ago, there was this major issue that popped up around Elmo and the person who plays the Elmo character and him being, I believe, a pedophile. Or at least some concerns around his behavior with children. And so that right there led me to really wrestle with the fact, like, why am I watching Elmo with my son? Knowing that this right here is the history and this is the person behind the character. And I'm lifting this up. I'm lifting this up because a couple of days ago, the missus and I, we went to go see, what was it, Roman J. Esquire, the movie. And in that movie, we had a pretty good conversation after the movie based off of him trying to reconcile two dimensions of who he is. And in that movie, basically, he has some challenges around living his life and existing pretty much on point and being straight-laced and focusing. You can't pull my beard, baby. Focusing on being on the up and up and being an advocate and a fighter, engaging in practices of law that enhance the community and the people that are oftentimes disenfranchised. So again, that was his primary focus, but he found himself in a predicament, or he placed himself in a predicament where he did something that was shady. And so when he did this, he essentially said to himself, like, truthfully, y'all, in order to get down in this society right here, you can't be straight. You can't be on the up and up. You gotta basically be a little bit crooked because the world around you is crooked. And so after the movie, the missus and I, we had this discussion about the fact that people have difficulty grappling with the ambiguity, grappling with the gray. And so I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Elmo and I'm trying to, the dude behind the character, he has some issues, but my son, he loves Elmo. And even if we take it beyond Elmo, let's look at Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show. We'll throw the Cosby Show on, in our house because there's some excellent values that the kids can get from it. And even we as adults and parents can get from it as well. But yet, you got the whole thing around Bill Cosby. So how do you exist in this society and, really manage your emotions and manage your walk and manage how you raise your family and you're in the midst of this struggle? Do you run away from it? Do you tap out? Do you say like, hey, this is what it is and I'm not dealing with Bill? Like I'll be putting on Lil Bill for my son because he loves it. I'm not dealing with Lil Bill. I'm not dealing with Elmo. I'm not dealing with anything that causes internal conflict. Or do you allow yourself to be in a space where you recognize that there is duality, that there is gray, that there are multi-dimensions of everybody. And, people show up in different ways and they're not all good and they're not all bad. So baby, go ahead and chime in. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Okay. Same thing you said. I mean, I guess, ditto. Hi, everybody.
Baba?
Little one.
Baba?
Yeah, you want to say hi again? Say hi. Where are you? Hi. So look, all I will say is that my husband is absolutely right, and some of y'all may not even really be feeling this because most of us, I won't say most of us, but a great number of people find it much more comforting to sit in places of rigidity, to have rigid thinking, to have inflexible kinds of thoughts. We don't want to.
You want to go? Let's go downstairs.
No, you about to leave me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
We don't want to think of things as being complicated because it's challenging to us. We don't want to have to think about people in a dual way. You know, I don't want to think about somebody who is, for example, you know, my mother who, you know, has always been there for me. I'm not talking about my mother, right? I'm giving examples, right? So your mother who has always been there for you and always had your back, right? And when I say that, I mean that, you know, maybe this person, your mother has, you know, provided advice for you, and you know, if you needed a place to sleep because you know had some rough times, you know, you could always go back to mama's house, right? But mama also is mean. You know, she's also someone who's wounded you or scarred you in some way because of, I don't know, perhaps some of the things that she said. She's not the most sensitive person. You know, there are two ways you experience mama. And so to name the parts of your experience with people or situations or places that are not healthy, that are not helpful, and that can even have been damaging to you, and at the same time say, but you know, on some level, you know, I love that person. I still frequent that place. I mean, think about the Black church and how much we can criticize the church house and that institution for, you know, the ways that we hear all the time, at least I do, because I'm around a diverse group of folks, you know, pacifying Black folks and helping us to turn the other cheek when we might need to pay attention to kind of standing up and standing our ground and being too quick and easy to forgive. And at the same time, the Black church is one of the only, if not the only, institution in America that has stood the ground for Black folks in so many ways, you know, creating a safe haven for Black folks, creating schools and banks and businesses and jobs and safety and food and, you know, a place to go get educated, a place to begin your leadership skills, to get some exposure to so many things that you would not otherwise be able to get exposure to. See, it's easy for people to stay on one side and not, you know, visit the other, because the hard thing is to recognize that all people, including yourself, are multidimensional. All of existence, all things that are created, all institutions are made by people, and so they are multidimensional. And so that means that there's good and there's bad. But at the end of the day, if we could just work on reconciling within ourselves our own faults, our own strengths, our own weaknesses, and our own successes, if we could accept the fullness of who we are and be willing to look at that and accept ourselves, oh my goodness, it becomes that much easier to accept other people and other ideas that don't line up quite right. Because if we can do it for ourselves and you know, be like, phew, I'm a walking contradiction, you know? And you know what? I'm working on things, but I will always be a walking contradiction because I am a human being. If we could do that within ourselves, then how much more can we do for other people who we're in relationship with and other opportunities we have to engage in life versus sit on the fringes and on the edges, condemning, being rigid, keeping things in nice, neat boxes. Life is messy. Mm-hmm. Life is messy. So embrace the messiness, be real about it, and don't get into places of rigid kind of thinking. It's not fun. Yeah. It's not fun. It may seem like it. It can be very righteous looking, mm-hmm. and it can be very, you know, neat looking. But at the end of the day, life is messy.
It's messy.
People are messy. Mm-hmm. And we just got to stop playing, start pushing ourselves to be real and to accept all of it, which again starts with accepting all of yourself. Okay. I did not mean to say all of that. There you go.
All right, y'all. Stop playing, and as always, start pushing. Peace.